Over the last 3 months, I ate some of the best Hokkien Mees in Singapore, and I learned that Hokkien Mee might be an endangered recipe. A common theme that I found across all the plates were that hawkers were struggling to give an appropriate amount. The average price was about $5, but the amount of noodles was almost never filling, which tells me that hawkers are trying their best to keep their prices low. But Hokkien Mee, good Hokkien Mee, is not meant to be cheap. You start with some lard, let that render down under low heat with some salt and water. While you work on your prawns, give them a quick rinse and then separate the flesh from the heads and shells. A quick check-in on your lard, give it a stir so that nothing burns. And then we rinse our squid, peel the external layer and then slice that down. Also, slicing down some pork belly for later. Lard should be about done by now, sieve out the crispy bits and save the liquid go. Next, we heat some liquid lard in a pot and fry up our prawn heads and shells. Once your whole house smells like prawns, add water, pork bones, pig skin, clams and let it go for 2 hours minimum. That will give us time to cut up some chili, onion, garlic and calamansi. Squeeze some calamansi juice in, add some rice wine vinegar, sugar, some water and blitz. Transfer that to a wok to sweat it down a little. We just want to remove the rawness of it, but not so much that it caramelizes. Once the prawn stock is done, we are going to sieve out all the ingredients and blanch our prawns, squid and pork belly. With all that work done, we are now finally at the starting line. Heat up some lard in the wok and add our eggs, scramble that down and add the bean sprouts. Next, add the noodles. I'm going with a trio of yellow noodles, thin and thick rice noodles. Cook that down a little, make some space in the wok, add some lard, fry up a good amount of garlic, season with some soy sauce and fish sauce, pouring them in from the side. Add your prawn stock in, cover the lid and let it simmer. We want it to be somewhat soupy at this point because when it cools down, the gravy will thicken up from the starch. Then, I'm going to add some crispy lard, our prawns, pork belly, squid, along with some Chinese chives. Mix all of that in to reheat them. Fix yourself a plate, add your chili and lime and then we are done. All of that work, $75 in ingredient cost, 5 hours in the kitchen with cleanup. All for a thoroughly meat Hokkien Mee. My crustacean flavour was greatly lacking, maybe because I went with plain old Vanna Mae prawns, but the bigger miss was the noodles. I'm not sure if it's the quality of the noodles or that I overcooked it. It was mushier than I would have liked it. Other than that, it was still decent for the most part, but compared to the likes of Kam Daily and Sui Guan, I am about 9,000 hours behind. Most dishes that you might get outside, I'm confident of hitting at least 50% of the standard if I cook at home. But here I'm not even 10% of the way there. Which makes me a little mad when I think about the comments that berate Hokkien Mee places. Bitch, you don't even know. You mean I can save on all this work, go out right now and buy a top tier Hokkien Mee for $10, $5? As a hawker dish, our society, for the most part, thinks that it is not allowed to be expensive. Which is not entirely wrong, because hawker dishes, like many other great dishes in the world, are born out of poverty. But Hokkien Mee was invented in a time where prawns and squid were cheap, back when Singapore was still a fishing village. Such ingredients are far from cheap nowadays. Which is unfortunate for Hokkien Mee because now it seems that its true form is a luxurious one, no longer a cheap one. So coming back, I believe that Hokkien Mee is an endangered recipe because moving forward, one of two things will happen. One, more places will sell watered down version in order to make ends meet. You know, using like cheap broth, no longer investing in the prawn stock, maybe even some central kitchen stock. Two, people will stop selling it altogether and choose some other dish to sell. It's also worth noting that all these places that we visited in the series are arguably tier 1 places, at least in name. And they are challenged to make this recipe make economical sense, either giving less noodles or charging more. The tier 2, tier 3 places probably have it even worse. So, enjoy your favourite Hokkien Mee while you can. To those of you who went ahead and ordered Hokkien Mee after watching the videos, thank you for doing your part to preserve the recipe. Comment below I did my part if you're one of them. And with that, we are concluding the Hokkien Mee series. Thank you guys so much for watching. The end of the series also means the start of a new one, so comment below what you guys want to see next. But for now, that's all I have for you guys this time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!